My name is Elena Whitaker, and the sound of that zipper closing is still in my head in a way I don't know how to explain properly. It wasn't dramatic. That's the part that still bothers me. There was no fight that matched the ending. No moment that felt big enough to justify what it became. Just Marcus standing by the bed, folding his shirts like he had done it 100 times before. Like he wasn't leaving a life behind, just moving it somewhere else. The suitcase zipper pulled shut with a flat, final sound. That was it. He didn't look at me right away. When he finally spoke, his voice was calm in a way that felt rehearsed. "I've made my decision." I remember nodding before I even processed what that meant. Not agreement, just delayed reaction. Like my body understood faster than my mind. Outside, a car horn sounded once. Normal city noise, nothing special. But I still looked out. There was a woman in the car. She wasn't doing anything wrong in that moment. That's what makes it hard to explain. She was just sitting there, checking her phone, fixing her hair, like she was waiting for something ordinary. Like lives don't overlap in damaging ways. Marcus noticed me looking. "Don't," he said quietly. Not angry, just tired. Like even my reaction was inconvenient. I didn't ask questions I already knew the answers to. That surprised me later when I thought about it. I didn't cry either. I think I was too busy trying to understand how a house could still look the same when something inside it had already changed shape. He picked up his bag. "You'll manage," he said. "You always do." That sentence landed differently this time. Not comfort, not praise. More like something he relied on without my permission. We walked down the hallway together. The floor creaked in the same place it always did. I remember noticing that and thinking, strangely, that nothing in the house cared what was happening. The bags were already near the door. That detail stayed with me. He had been leaving longer than I had realized. "So, this is it?" I asked. He didn't fully turn. "We've been through this. It hasn't been working." I almost laughed, but it came out more like air leaving my throat. "That's interesting," I said, "because I remember trying." He exhaled, sharper this time. "Don't do that. Don't rewrite things." That line stuck more than anything else he said, because it told me he had already rewritten them first. Outside, the car horn sounded again. He opened the door. "I don't want this to get messy," he said. "It doesn't have to." Something about the word messy irritated me in a way I couldn't explain. "You mean inconvenient for you," I said. He paused, finally looking at me properly for a second. "Think whatever you want." And then he left. The door didn't slam. That's important too. It just closed normally, like nothing unusual had happened. I stood there longer than I should have, waiting for my body to catch up. It didn't come as shock. That's the part people expect. It came more like delay. Like my mind was walking through fog, but refusing to stop. The house didn't feel empty right away. It felt delayed. Then I went into the office. He never liked that room. I used to think it was just preference. Now I think it was avoidance. I opened the folder I had been building without fully admitting I was building anything. At first, it was small things. Transactions that didn't match explanations. Gaps in records. Names that appeared once and disappeared. Then it became patterns. Then it stopped feeling like suspicion and started feeling like documentation. My hands weren't shaking when I looked at it. That surprised me too. I expected some dramatic reaction. There wasn't one. Just clarity that made my stomach feel slightly distant from the rest of me. My phone buzzed. "Is he gone?" Thomas asked. "Yes," I typed. A pause. "Then we proceed." I didn't respond after that. I sat there longer than necessary, not thinking about revenge. That word doesn't fit how it actually felt. It wasn't anger driving me forward. It was the strange realization that I had been removed from decisions about my own life while still physically inside it. That's what stayed with me. That night, the house felt different in a way I can't make sound dramatic enough to match what it actually was. Not silence, reduction. Like something had been taken out and I hadn't noticed how much space it was occupying until it was gone. I kept touching things without meaning to. Countertops, door frames, just to confirm they were still mine to touch. At some point, I noticed I was still wearing the necklace he gave me years ago. I didn't take it off, not because it mattered anymore, but because I didn't know what it meant yet. Monday came too quickly, and not quickly enough at the same time. Things moved in ways that looked ordinary from the outside. Emails, requests, formal language that didn't sound threatening until it was read twice. His first message came fast. "We need to talk." Then, "Don't do something you can't undo." I didn't reply. That silence turned into something else over time. Less confident messages followed. Then a call. I almost didn't answer. "Elena," his voice said. Different now, less controlled. "What are you doing?" I looked at the folder on my desk. "I'm not doing anything," I said. "This already exists." Silence. That silence felt heavier than anything he had said before. "What do you want from me?" he asked finally. That question should have had an answer. It didn't. Not the kind he expected. "I want you to read what's in front of you," I said. "That's all." 3 days later, he signed. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just after whatever internal line he crossed that made resistance feel more expensive than acceptance. Months passed after that. People assume things end quickly. They don't. They stretch out in paperwork and silence and small adjustments no one talks about. The house stayed. The business split in ways that revealed what was real and what was just maintained. I didn't feel victorious. That's another thing stories usually get wrong. I mostly felt tired in a way that sleep didn't fix immediately. One afternoon, I saw him at a cafe. He looked like someone who had started living inside consequences instead of outside them. For a second, I considered going over, but there was nothing I needed from that moment. So I didn't. I just watched him for a few seconds longer than I should have, then left without being seen. That night, I stood in the kitchen again. Same space, different version of me standing in it. I finally took the necklace off. It didn't feel symbolic in the moment. It just felt like something I had finished using. I placed it on the counter. And for the first time, I didn't think about what had been taken from me. I thought about what I had stopped holding without realizing it. Some stories don't become clearer because they end loudly. They become clearer when you stop trying to continue them.